Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard, you're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. What's up, friends? Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast. So grateful you have decided to spend some time here with me today. We're going to talk about happiness today. We're going to talk about some ways in which we can hack our happiness chemicals. A lot of our, what's going on in our physiology, the emotions, the ways in which we experience life are governed by or set in motion with certain hormones, right? Certain neurotransmitters, certain chemicals that are being sent through our body. And there are different chemicals, different hormones, different neurotransmitters that do different things in our body that dictate the ways in which we feel. And then that drives everything else. So what we're going to go through today are some of the ways that we can actually hack and increase some of the chemicals that make us feel really good, because we deserve to feel that way, right? When we're feeling good, when we're feeling centered and energized and motivated and focused and happy, ultimately, right? Full of joy, we just show up better for ourselves. Life is more enjoyable, and we show up better for our people. So we're going to go through 4 different happiness chemicals today that our body is creating that help us live our best life. And we can think about these chemicals in this acronym D.O.S.E, D-O.S.E, right? So we're going to get our daily dose of happiness chemicals. So it's dopamine, it's oxytocin, it is serotonin, and then our endorphins, D.O.S.E. All right, so let's start with the D, with dopamine. Dopamine is our brain's feel-good messenger. Dopamine is one of those brain chemicals that makes such a huge difference in how we feel every day, you guys. It's a neurotransmitter. It helps to send signals to our brain. And when our dopamine levels are high, y'all, we feel good. We feel motivated, right? We feel unstoppable. We feel focused. Like when the dopamine is flowing, that's when we're in our flow state, right? We are in the pocket, in the zone. We're feeling good. It's our brain's natural reward system. So when we're doing something that we really enjoy doing, this is why play is so important, you guys, as adults, as moms. When we're doing things eating, think of your favorite restaurant and your favorite meal at your favorite restaurant, or think of your favorite dessert or your favorite ice cream, or whatever does it for you, right? Think about when you hit a really big goal at work, or think about when you have this brilliant parenting moment and you're like, dang, that was good. When we have those experiences, our brain releases dopamine and we get this nice little boost, right? Of these feel good hormones. We feel satisfaction. It's this boost of pleasure. And really understanding dopamine is so crucial because it's directly linked to our mood, right? It's directly linked to our motivation, our overall sense of well-being. And I know if you're like me, you're listening to the show, right? You're a high-achieving mom. You often are juggling a million things all at once. It can be easy to just get stuck in this cycle of I got so much to do. I just got to get stuff done. This cycle of stress that leads us to burnout. But when we can learn how to hack, especially our dopamine levels, you guys, we can really boost our mood, right? We can increase our motivation and we can create more moments that feel just more joyful, where we can sit in it and take a pause from what feels so hectic in other parts of our life, right? We can hack happy. So within each of these 4 happiness chemicals, the D.O.S.E ones we just talked about, I'm going to give you guys 3 different ways that you can hack that particular happiness chemical. So when we're talking about dopamine, 3 ways that we can hack dopamine. The first one is listening to music. Guys, music can significantly boost our dopamine levels. You've probably experienced it, right? Your favorite song comes on, you just can't help but like be moving around. It lifts up your mood. You're like cleaning up and you're like feeling and then you put on some good music and you're like, man, like this is actually not so bad, right? Kitchen dance party. Music comes on in your car that you love while you're driving somewhere, and it just gives you a mood lift, right? It just boosts your mood. Music will do that. It increases your levels of dopamine. The second is that we get a dopamine hit, you guys, when we learn something new. It's why so many of us love like listening to podcasts, reading books. Like we watch a reel and we learn something new. Maybe it's a parenting thing. Maybe it's a new recipe. Maybe it's like something that's just so interesting about how things work. When we learn something new, we get a dopamine hit. And then, so that's number 2. And then the third one is that we really want to eat dopamine boosting foods, right? This is so important. Our gut and our brain are in constant communication via our gut-brain axis, right? It's this complex network that includes all these different pathways that are linking like our emotions and our cognitive centers of the brain and our peripheral intestinal function. And that's why like our gut is often referred to as our second brain, right? There's a connection between our gut and our brain. So we want to make sure that we're giving our gut the things that it needs to be functioning as it should, as it's designed, because there's chemicals that are being created there that have an impact on the connection with our brain, and thus what's released in our brain and how we're feeling. So there are certain gut bacteria. There are certain gut bacteria that produce precursors to dopamine. So one of those is called tyrosine. It's this amino acid, right? And when we incorporate foods, when we eat foods that are rich in tyrosine, our body uses that to make dopamine. It's an amino acid that helps produce dopamine. So we want to include those types of foods in our diet. What kind of foods have tyrosine? Bananas, almonds, avocados, eggs, chicken. So as I'm listing this out, I'm like, that's breakfast, you guys. Like if we can incorporate some of that stuff in our breakfast, right? Eggs in our breakfast, avocados in our breakfast, almonds in our breakfast, bananas in our breakfast, we're helping our gut to produce an amino acid that will then help our brain produce dopamine. So good. Okay, so that's the first one, dopamine. The second happiness chemical is oxytocin. Oxytocin is our love hormone, right? Oxytocin helps us feel connected to others. It's this powerful neurotransmitter. It's associated with social bonding and emotional connection and trust. Like when we hug someone, when we hug our kids, hug our partner or family member, when we're laughing with our friends, when we're spending quality time with people. Those of you that are listening that quality time is one of your love languages, like oxytocin is what is released when you get that quality time. It's why we crave it. It's why it's so good, right? Feels so good for our nervous system. And then our brain releases this oxytocin and it makes us, you guys ever experience like the warm and fuzzies, right? You like look over and you see your kids doing something so sweet or they're like snuggling with you and you just feel like the warm and fuzzies. That's your brain releasing oxytocin. And again, as women listening to this show, we've got so much going on, right? It can be easy to just get stuck in like the tasks or the doing, and we just feel like kind of stressed or disconnected. But when we can learn how to hack oxytocin, when we can learn how to boost our oxytocin, we can enhance our mood, we can strengthen our relationships. Again, it just brings kind of like more joy into our daily life, right? Hacking happy. So here are 3 ways you can boost your oxytocin levels. The first one is physical touch. Physical touch, talking about another love language, right? Physical touch is one of the most effective ways to boost oxytocin. So it could be a hug, a snuggle, holding hands. The research has shown that we have to do it for an extended period of time, right? So like just, I live in Miami. Everyone here, when they greet and meet each other, it's like a quick kiss on the cheek. That's not something that will increase your oxytocin levels. But snuggling with your kids, right? Giving your partner like a 20-second hug, like holding them for an extended period of time, 20 seconds, then your brain will release oxytocin. So keep that physical touch high. The same thing happens with our pets. So if you are like sitting next to your dog, or if you have a cat or whatever it is that you like to like sit next to, or have them sit on your lap, and you're just kind of like petting them as you're reading a book or watching a movie, interacting with animals, especially our pets, right, that we have with this emotional connection with, that can also increase our oxytocin. So playing with them, cuddling with them, all of that is good for our oxytocin levels. And then this last one I put here, the third way that we can hack oxytocin is cooking together or eating together, right? So many of us love sharing a meal with friends, sharing a meal with our partner, right? If we're going out on like a date night, sharing a meal with our family in our home, hosting people, all of that feels so good. All of that can be like this fun bonding experience. All of that enhances our feelings of connection with one another because it boosts our oxytocin levels. So awesome. Okay, so that's the O in dose. Let's jump into the S. S is for serotonin. S is for serotonin. It's our good mood. It's our happy chemical. It is like the happy chemical. It's a neurotransmitter. It helps regulate our mood, thus the happy, right? Our anxiety. It's often referred to as our feel-good chemical because it makes us just feel this overall sense of like well-being, this overall sense of like, just exhale, right? Stability, safety, we're good. Understanding serotonin, how it functions, how it's created in our body is so important because this is what regulates our mood, you guys. So if we have low levels of serotonin, we're probably going to feel pretty crappy, right? We're going to feel anxious. We're going to feel depressed. But when we learn how to balance and increase those serotonin levels, we're going to feel more calm. We're going to feel more focused, more regulated in our nervous system, right? More happy. And again, as high achieving moms, as high achieving women, right? We're balancing so much, all the responsibilities, everything we've got to get done, everything we have to think of and remember. Having really healthy serotonin levels makes a huge difference in how we can manage the stress of our lives, how we can enhance our overall well-being. So guys, hacking serotonin is hacking happy. Let's talk about 3 ways that we can increase our serotonin levels. What is so important to know about serotonin in particular is that about 90%, almost all, right? 90% of our body's serotonin is actually produced in our gut. So more than any other neurotransmitter, it's so important for us to have good gut health if we're going to experience and produce enough serotonin to feel good, to feel better. Gut health is so important for maintaining those optimal serotonin levels. So what can we do about it? Let me give you 3 ways for hacking serotonin. The first is you can take probiotics. So probiotics are going to help maintain a really healthy gut microbiome, right? We need that for serotonin production. You can take a supplement. You can eat foods that have high quality probiotics in them, right? Probiotic rich foods, kimchi, miso, pickles, right? Anything that's fermented is really good for our gut health. For me personally, one of the ways that I've really capitalized on this is that I started taking Happy Juice back in January. So it's been, I guess, over 6 months now. And honestly, I like to the point where it's almost unbelievable for myself. I am blown away by how much the supplement has increased like my mood and just how I felt, my energy, my focus, my motivation, my productivity, all of it. Maybe you guys have heard of Happy Juice. I had not. I really hadn't heard of it. I don't spend a lot of time, I don't know, on social media. I guess I just hadn't heard of it until I met and had Busy Gold on the podcast. And like she wouldn't stop talking about it. And I really respect her opinion. I really respect like the work that she does, her wisdom. So I got super curious and I tried it. I tried it at the beginning of the year, and y'all, it has been a game changer. So much so that like my husband got on board and he now takes it religiously. And then I started giving the kids version to our kids. I noticed such a difference in like their mood, and their ability to like focus. And, I don't know, I really just can't overstate how much of a difference it's made for me. And I just love it. It's completely plant-based. It's like super clean. They're super discerning about their ingredients. So some of the things that happen when I started taking Happy Juice and really focusing on my gut health is that it improved my brain function, my cognitive function. So all of a sudden, like the brain fog I had been experiencing, or like you guys have all had those nights where it's like, I had one a couple nights ago. Like kid number 1 is in my bed crying at midnight, and then kid number 2 is in my bed crying at 3 a.m. And it's like, you just feel foggy the whole next day, or that's how I used to feel. Since I started taking Happy Juice, that doesn't happen anymore, right? I just feel laser focused in my cognitive function, laser focused and super clear. I've noticed more endurance in like my workouts, and my recovery is faster. My mood and motivation, that's probably been the biggest boost that I've noticed. It increases your metabolism. So especially for those of you who struggle with high cortisol, where you're storing belly fat, Happy Juice will really help with that. It's all natural energy. So like you don't get the jitters, you don't get the crash. And then it's just so healing for your gut, your brain, that gut-brain axis. It's full of probiotics, prebiotics, phytobiotics. And in their, the studies that they've done, like what they've seen, the results they've seen in these studies of people taking Happy Juice, this supplement Happy Juice, is incredible, you guys. They saw a 55% decrease in anxiety, a 64% decrease in fatigue, 105% decrease in negative mood, a 211% increase in positive mood in these clinical trials. So it's incredible. I've experienced it personally. And one of the things I love the most about it is it's super simple. It's 3 separate powders. I just mix it together in water. It tastes super good. I've done like the greens drinks. I've done the AG1. I've tried it all. They're fine. But I just kind of have to choke them down. But that's not true with Happy Juice. Like it actually tastes really good. So it's 3 different powders I mix together. The first one is called Mentabiotics. That's for that gut-brain axis. That's filled with these happy probiotics, these happy prebiotics that really heal your gut microbiome so that your gut can produce more serotonin, right? That's what we're talking about here. So when we're producing more serotonin, we have lower cortisol, we have enhanced calmness. We just feel more calm, less anxious, more serotonin production because of all of that, right? That's the first powder that you put in it. The second is called Edge, and that's their like all natural nootropic. So it supports your motivation, your memory, your creativity. It boosts the production of neurotransmitters. So it helps protect our brain cells from damage, and it just helps us have more focus, mental clarity, overall brain function, which is so important for all the things I'm trying to do. And I know for you too. And then the third thing I guess that you put in Happy Juice is called their Energy Plus. And that delivers like really smooth, really clear, clean, focused, reliable, awesome, like all natural energy, all plant-based, a motivation boost. Again, without the jitters, without the crash. And you guys have been listening to this show, like, you know, since the inception of this podcast, I have never endorsed a product. I've never even talked about a product, I don't think. Even though we get like, I don't know, 50 emails a week from companies trying to get us to promote their products on the podcast. It's just not my thing, right? I don't want to be here to sell to you guys. I don't even want to sell this really, but it's just different. I tried it out myself. I guinea pigged it. It's so flipping good. So I can't stop talking about it. I actually include it now as part of my one-on-one coaching packages because it's just made such a difference in my mood, my motivation, my focus, my energy levels. And I think it's the perfect complement to doing the inner work, right? Doing the nervous system work. And then even in this round of Restore, like our summer cohort of Restore, we actually gifted everyone inside every store for this summer cohort a free 1 month supply of Happy Juice because I just believe in it so much. So I'll get off my soapbox. If you want to try it out, I put links to pre-filled carts. There's a link to the Happy Juice that's caffeine free. That's what I take. It does the trick. I feel great. I tend to be more caffeine sensitive, so this is a great option for me. There's also a link to the caffeinated version. And if you use these pre-filled carts that I made for you guys, you can save $10. So if you want to know more, you can go to michellegrosser.com/happy. I also put the link in the show notes. You guys can check it out. All right. The second thing that we can do to hack serotonin is make sure we're eating plenty of fiber. Again, we're focusing on that gut health, right? Fiber feeds the good bacteria in our gut. Making sure we're getting enough fruits, veggies, like whole grains, legumes. Those are all excellent sources of fiber that are going to help support your gut health and then produce serotonin, right? And then the last one is spending time in the sun. That's a third way that we can hack more serotonin. Sunlight helps our body to produce vitamin D, right? This is something that we already know. But vitamin D actually plays a large role in our serotonin production. So trying to get outside, even if it's cloudy out, you guys, there's still a benefit to our body from that natural light. 15, 20 minutes. This doesn't have to be this whole day thing. Like just go for a walk over your lunch break, get the kids in the stroller, go for a walk, go for a family bike ride, get out by yourself and have 15 minutes to think. Especially in the morning, you guys, it's such a powerful way to increase that serotonin production and hack your happy. All right. And then finally, the last one, D.O.S.E. So the E for our endorphins. Endorphins are the chemicals that are produced by our nervous system to help us cope with pain and to help us cope with stress. So you've maybe even heard endorphins referred to as your body's like natural painkillers, because they can produce these feelings of just like helping us cope with pain, right? Easing the pain, promoting a feeling of just feeling better, this general well-being. So you can think of endorphins as your body's own little stash of like calming, soothing, happiness boosters. Understanding endorphins is important because they play a big role in how we manage stress and how we experience the good things of life, right? How we can enjoy the good things. So again, we're doing all of the things, learning how to boost our endorphin levels, really help us to enhance our mood and alleviate stress and create more moments of joy and peace and presence and calmness and all the things that we want to experience more of. So here are 3 ways that we can hack endorphins, more endorphins. The first one is exercise. You guys might already know this. Physical activity, movement, motion, one of the most effective ways to boost our endorphin levels. So I would shoot for, at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise, right? What does that look like? Go take a walk. So beneficial. Get outside, move your body, go for a jog, ride your bike, whatever it is, lift some weights, but exercising regularly, getting that heart rate up is how it's the primary way you're going to boost your endorphin levels. The second is getting a massage. Yo, physical touch, massage helps release endorphins. Massage is something that for most of my adult life was like this big treat for me, right? Like I would always like think of it as a luxury. Or like if some big thing happened, I settled this big case, or I was feeling like super stressed about something. I was like, I'm going to treat myself to a massage. In the last 5-6 years, since I've really started doing this nervous system work, my mindset around massages have changed. And now it is just part of a regular like self-care routine for my body, right? It has much more to do now with like health and wellness for me than it does with like treating myself. So I get a massage every month. You don't have to like go to the Four Seasons. I certainly don't every month. But I'm part of like one of those massage envies. I have this woman. She reminds me of Luisa from Encanto. She is just pure magic. And really it's therapy, right? This professional massage really helps to just like move things around in my body. And it also helps me to relax and release endorphins. And then the last one is eating dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, you guys, has compounds in it that can trigger endorphin production. So if you're someone who has a bit of a sweet tooth or you enjoy dark chocolate, go ahead, have a little bit every day. It's something that can help trigger that endorphin production and help you to feel better. So there you have it, guys. That's how you can get your daily dose of happiness chemicals, right? Your dopamine, your oxytocin, your serotonin, and your endorphins. D.O.S.E. So that's what I've got for you guys. If you want to start somewhere that I think is going to really make a difference within days, or even moments, like one, get outside. Get outside, get natural light, move your body. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel happier. Second, try the happy juice. I made 2 preloaded carts for you guys. Links in the show notes. Again, there's a caffeine-free one. That's the one that I take. I get that energy and motivation and productivity boost without the jitters. And there's also a caffeinated one if you prefer that. Use a link in the show notes. You can save $10. You're focusing on your gut health. It's going to make a huge difference in your mood and in your energy levels. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thanks for being with me today. I'll talk to you guys soon.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.